You are watching Cable 10, Aurora, Illinois Community Access Channel.
5, 4, 3.
We would be honored if you would join us. Dad?
Drop it.
Groovy.
It's Tuesday. It's 10 p.m. and it's time to party. I'm your excellent host, Wayne Campbell.
Chapman Algar.
Hold on, let me.
I'm Mike.
Here, dude.
I don't know what you did there. You really fucked it up
There
there
we
for a
go.
hot second. There you go.
Oh, zang. All right. In case you haven't been able to tell, and it makes you feel a little bit old. Oh, sorry. Before we get started tonight, hey, Facebook, you good? Excellent.
Facebook's never.
But yeah, just to make you guys feel old, February 14th celebrated the 32nd anniversary of the release of Wayne's World. Whoa.
Excellent.
So tonight, among other things, we're going to celebrate just that. The Mike Myers and Dana Carvey, if you could put a movie in a time capsule for the 1990s, this would totally be it. And we, as a nation, as a planet, as a people, as a species, for the last time I can remember, came together as one to fall in love with Tia Carrere. Wayne.
She's a babe.
True. She was president. She'd be Abraham Lincoln.
Whoa.
Well, also, girl, I'm sorry.
Excellent.
Us bald folks think alike.
It's true.
If she were a pig, she would be babe.
I thought I was going to say she'd be squealing. Cancel.
So, yeah.
She'd give a dog
Come
a
to the
bone.
chat. Come to the store. Let's party. But first, we'll start the program as we always do with the news.
It's the news. Party time.
Excellent.
The search is just outside of Zion National Park. Fox 13's Jose Miguel joins us live from there. Jose, why are they searching this area?
Well, NASA officials had actually had a projection saying that debris from the shuttle may have possibly landed here in Washington County. Now, everybody at one point or another has experienced the frustration of having to look for a lost item.
The fuck? Hey,
Why
do
does it
that
keep
thing
doing
again.
that?
Why does it keep doing that? See, that wasn't me. That was the internet. It's still spazzing out, dude.
What happened?
Hello, Melissa.
Welcome.
That guy doing the news report must have pissed off the people in the truck because instead of putting his name, it put Virgin.
Oh, I see. I totally missed it. Okay. Damn it.
Oh, the news. There's so much news. We're going to have to pick and choose here. So we'll start with the box office. These are your domestic totals for this past weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Dune 2 rejuvenated the box office by bringing in $83 million, coming in at number one, of course. Bob Marley, One Love, number two, brought in $7.4 million, bringing its total of 3 weeks to $83 million, which is what Dune 2 brought in just this past weekend.
Excellent.
Damn.
Okay, excellent. Some movie called Ordinary Angels came in at number 3.
Don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either, but it's there.
They keep putting all these movies out that I'm like, I have no clue. You got to stop doing that to me.
Happens a lot these days because there's nothing good coming up.
Regularly.
The new episodes of The Chosen came in at number 4 again. Madam Web dropped to number 5. The animated feature Migration is hanging in there, dude. It's at number 6. The anime feature film called Demon Slayer, lucky number 7. Wonka's still hanging in there, coming in at number 8. It's done pretty well, $217 million to its 12-week run so far. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Argyle continues to bomb. It dropped to number 9. It was a $200 or $300 million movie that's only brought in $44 million in 5 weeks.
Ouch.
Bogus. And number 10 was The Beekeeper. I still haven't seen that yet, but I heard it's good. That's all I got to say about that. Last week was not too kind as celebrity passings. There's been a lot of them so far this year. Most notably, actor-comedian Richard Lewis passed away at 76.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, doesn't that suck?
I remember as a kid, my parents liked him a lot, and so as a kid, I kind of latched onto that, and because he always had like his little, he would walk around on the stage, and he kind of hunched over, and he was like he was funny. He was a good shit. That's a tragedy. That's sad.
How did he pass? Oh, heart attack. Ooh.
Yeah.
Moving on. The wrestling world was not spared neither, as Ole Anderson passed away, wrestler, booker, promoter, and one of the founding fathers of the Four Horsemen. We lost him.
Wow. Somehow I didn't hear about that.
That's for you.
And I think within 24 hours, Virgil. We lost Virgil, probably best known as being the bodyguard for the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Back in the late 80s, early 90s.
One of the biggest douchebags of all time in wrestling history.
He was great. I would have loved to have been that.
You know what's funny is I saw online where they were saying that they had like a GoFundMe or whatever for Virgil's funeral, and they said that Chris Jericho donated $5,000, but then somebody went in and donated $5 and put their name as Ted DiBiase.
Oh no!
I was like, that's funny.
About that is actually Ted DiBiase.
They're gonna hold the ceremony at Olive Garden.
Yeah, meat sauce, baby.
I wonder if they could sprinkle his ashes there. There might be some like health code violation with that, though.
You think?
Hey, when I die, I don't want you to smoke my ashes. I want you to put them on a pizza and eat them.
That's weird.
Oh, well, we'll see you there, Melissa.
We shall see you there.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Fucking hair.
Gonna make some history. Yeah.
Mania.
Oh boy, in other news. Should we talk about that crow picture that was unleashed on the internet last week?
Okay. So yeah, why not? Because
the first thing I saw was Jared Leto's the Joker, and I fucking just groaned, and I was kind of done with it.
there was that flashback of that as well. But the more that I've looked at it, though, I mean, he actually does look more like the comic book Crow. And
he has longer hair though.
Well, yeah, but they also got to think about like they got to keep with the times in some way, shape, or form. And
Don't have to.
unfortunately, I don't know why, but unfortunately, that fucking hairstyle came back in a big way. I saw that the fucking dude from Avenged Sevenfold has his hair cut like that too, and I'm like, really? Come on, you're gonna buzz the sides? Like, what? It's the worst haircut. Kiefer Sutherland even said it was the worst haircut ever fucking invented.
He wore the shit out. He wore the hell out of that haircut.
He invented that haircut.
He invented that fucking haircut, and he's the only one that can pull it
He
off.
regrets it ever since.
Yeah, I just watched an interview with him earlier about it.
I see why.
Like,
he totally pulled it off.
But I like Skarsgård. I think he's a good
Me
actor.
too. Yeah.
And so I have more hopes about this than if Momoa. Remember that shit when they had Momoa as possibly playing Eric Draven?
They had a bunch of people. And Hiddleston was in there, and I think probably 5 other people have been.
Like no. I think that Skarsgård has a kind of the right build for it. So I'm not. And I'll go ahead and say it. Hot take or whatever people fucking say these days. Watching The Crow again. I mean, I still love the movie, but it's not that great of a movie. It's a fun one. I love it. I watch it all the time. But if they actually make a movie based around the comic that's maybe, I don't know, a little less cheesier, because if you actually watch The Crow, It's just there's some stuff in it that's just kind of like, but I mean, it's still a favorite of mine. But as I get older, I'm more like critical about things and pick out more things that I realize that I didn't see as a child, and now I'm like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. But
As long as it's better than the sequels.
I mean, I still like 2. I still like City of Angels. I thought that was really good. City of Angels was good. Salvation had a good storyline, but follow through sucked. And then they just got worse as it went on. And we won't even talk about the Edward Furlong one because that was a big old pile of shit. So yeah, fingers crossed, hoping for the best, keeping positive.
Yeah, man, we'll give it a chance, but I don't want to diss it or anything because if it comes out and it's a really good film, I guess I'll be eating crow.
Yeah, this is America, dude. You can go see the movie if you want. I mean, it's your choice, and it's the choice of a new generation.
Are we bound down to sponsorship?
I'm not really into sponsors. I just sit here and think that, these are delicious.
In other news, another Netflix price hike is on the way. That's right. The Netflix prices will continue to go up by the end of the year.
It's okay. I'm still using yours.
Oh. Currently, the basic is $11.99 a month. So I would guess 13 to 14 is probably what it'll go up. Oh, this one's for you, Chuck. If the Roadhouse remake couldn't get any more heat than what it's already gotten since the day it was announced, somehow it managed to do so. As the writer of the original 1989 film is currently suing Amazon and MGM for copyright infringement.
He's suing Amazon now too?
For using they're using AI voiceovers for the film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Dave doesn't watch our show.
I was gonna say, didn't you say that last week, bro?
Yep. Did I have that last week? Oh,
No, you weren't here last week.
Yeah, you didn't have it last week because you weren't here. Dave's not here last week, man.
Got to it before
I did watch it. I must have missed that. I'm sorry.
You were here in spirit.
Yeah.
Even people at the store don't watch our show.
Yeah. I was doing inventory, man.
He was out trying to track down Whitman. We still don't know the fuck he's at.
Oh, he's been back there since inventory in the adult section.
He left.
We don't have that many movies back there, dude.
He left.
I don't know what's taking.
I feel like he's just getting all caught up in the clown porn.
We've lost so many employees to that. It's crazy. I told you to stop sending newbies back there because they never come back. It's weird.
What are you going to do?
I think I have an idea for a story. Go on.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus.
Far from.
We have a lot of remake and reboot news that
Oh, yay.
from the reboots that nobody asked for section.
Watch my.
Remember that Naked Gun remake? Well, it got a release date. It will be coming July 2025, which I would imagine might get changed because July 2025 also holds the new Superman movie and the Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, it's going to bomb then.
Yeah. It's like just donate your money to charity, dude.
Who's supposed to be in that?
Liam Neeson.
Oh, that's right.
Liam Neeson's is my shit.
I got that. I got that reference, dude. And speaking of Superman, what?
Oh, wow.
We need to
Hello.
talk about Bigfoot and Wild Boy, dude. Because nobody ever finds our videos till like a year or two after we do them. It's bizarre.
Very true. If you want it, we'll do it.
Yeah, for real.
You want it.
Thank you, Jay.
You got it.
And speaking of Superman, Superman Legacy has been retitled. Guess what it got retitled to? Superman.
Bloodlines. Oh.
No, just Superman. It's just Superman.
Of course it was. You know what? If they would just go ahead and make a Death of Superman movie, I'd be great with it. Like,
Yeah,
I want to see. I want Doomsday. I want it all. Like, give me. I'll watch that. I'll watch a 3-hour long fucking Death of Superman movie
They
because
gotta
it's
make it
based
a
on the
decent
fucking
thing.
graphic novel. Like all those issues, like that led up to that. Dude, that was like the only.
But if it's going to be good, it has to be animated.
Dude, I agree.
Yeah, their animated movies are really good. I don't know why they keep fucking up the live action.
Yeah. Fuck all
I
that.
think we should just go to animated movies anyway with most stuff. Fuck AI, just go to animated.
And the rumored budget for the new Superman movie is $360 million. It's gonna bomb.
It's gonna bomb.
Well, the real question will be, what will Warner Brothers do about it? Will they hit the panic button and blow the whole thing up like they've always do since the 80s? Or will they stay the course?
They'll
My
fire
money's
everybody
gonna
and
be all
start
over.
over again.
Yep.
Like they do with every other fucking Superman movie.
I'm laughing because Mike looks like Rhino.
Gore.
Rhino.
The wrestler.
Oh. I was kind of looking more like Guar without the mask, but you know. Actually, no. Actually, honestly, you kind of look like you'd be like a death metal band from like the fucking like 90s. You kind of look like Terry Butler from 6 Feet Under and shit.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Excellent.
looks like Eddie Vedder.
And we'll just do Guess what TV show's coming back?
Bigfoot and Wild Boy?
Nope. Baywatch. A new Baywatch is in development at Fox Network with, what's her name?
Okay.
Laura Olson. Is that another Olson? I guess so. Well, she's the front runner. And that's all. I can't take the news anymore. It's mostly bullshit.
Is it going to be like a sequel to the other Baywatch movie that came out, or is it like a totally new like thing?
I don't know.
Can't hassle the Hawk, man.
Are they going to do Baywatch? What they did that? Are they going to do like what they did with Halloween with Baywatch? It's going to be a bunch of different like spin-off movies. It's like going to be a trilogy of just like the worst fucking possible things I could imagine. You know, it would probably still be better than any of the Halloween movies that came out in the past 10 years.
You know, speaking of Baywatch, Tia Carrere actually turned down a role on Baywatch to do this film.
Excellent.
Indeed.
Full circle, dude.
It's crazy.
It like she really took a chance on that because, you know, these SNL movies usually don't do that well. In fact, this was by far the most successful one out of the bunch. Oh. James said, did you guys see Madam Web? You know, you looking forward to the sequel? No, and I'd be really surprised if they did a sequel. But stranger things have happened.
They have. I have not seen it either.
I haven't seen it. I've heard nothing but horrible reviews about this. I don't think I've heard one positive review about it.
I just watched the first 10 minutes of Aquaman the other day and I was out.
Madam Web has no penis.
They don't say.
Or does she? No.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, nowadays it could go either way. And that's totally acceptable. Excellent.
Excellent. So, like, who picked Wayne's World, by the way?
I don't know. It just came. It fell on the anniversary thing.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm totally glad you did because it was a lot of fun going back and watching this movie again, man. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of nostalgia. Like, this really took me back. I remember going to see this one, too. I was, I guess, 11, 12 years old, and fucking, like, the theater was full. There was a lot of older kids, so it made it cool.
Right.
And did anyone else ever hear Bohemian Rhapsody before this movie?
No, actually, that was the first
If
time
I did, I don't
it.
remember.
That was the first time I heard it. I was when I first saw Wayne's World, it was where my grandmother lived, and I go stay with her. There was a rich fucking family lived in the corner, and one of the kids, even though they were complete like assholes, they I go play Nintendo with them and shit like that. But they had rented Wayne's World, like somebody else in the family had rented it, and we started watching it. And I watched like half of it, and then I was like, I have to watch the rest of this movie because it was just the funniest thing. Like, and as a kid, it was great, and it was also like, these people, these kids that I hung out with, was also where I first saw my first Hustler and Playboy magazine. So you know, a lot of good memories with Wayne's World, because you know, you're like, oh, ha 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 ha, ooh, you know. Yeah. What's this thing called puberty? I think I'm finding it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just now?
What?
This year I got
really,
huge.
yeah. Just now, it's kind of crazy. Like my kid's mom would have no idea.
Over the summer.
There was a ton of cameos in this movie, and I think Ed O'Neill. I think is my favorite. My favorite
Just have a
cameo.
man in the dead of winter.
Steam rises up from his chest.
I always remember that shit, man, because I do remember watching that shit. Like, it's just like I thought it was just so strange, but everything in it was just kind of perfect. Because like I was a Saturday Night Live kid, I already liked watching Saturday Night Live and stuff, and recognizing some of the people, especially my Myers. But like the humor, it was different from what I was used to. Because honestly, before I got into comedy, it was all horror movies. So I didn't really know what funny was. Everything funny to me was not funny to a lot of people. So like seeing Wayne's World was kind of like a game changer. And I rewatching it was kind of nice because it brought back like a lot of good memories and laughed my ass off. Actually, I didn't think I was going to because because we've had to switch up things, movies and whatever. Honestly, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, I was not as excited about watching that at all. When it comes down to morons, I think Wayne's World is what I'd rather watch.
And coincidentally, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out around the exact same time, 3 years prior to Wayne's World. Coincidence?
I think not.
Maybe not.
But every part with Ed O'Neill cracks me up. And when the guy hands, he's like, "Work gave me this today," and they paid me. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know what that's like."
What are you doing? Only me and Garth can talk to the camera.
Yeah, that was first. And you see him in the distance.
It's like, what you want to hunt him down and tear out his still black beating heart and show it to him before he dies? No, I'm going to call the union.
File grievance. It's a twisted world.
Because when they first go into the diner and you see him in the distance, like he's not even in focus yet, but he just, it's him. And like the whole theater started cracking up. And then it moves in closer. Every part with him in it is great. But they didn't put him into too much. It was just enough. It's just right. It's just right. Chris Farley. I think it was his first movie, Chris Farley.
Yeah. I forgot that Chris Farley was in this until watching it like yesterday. I was like, oh shit.
Steals every scene that he's in.
He had an awful lot of information for a security guard.
I wonder if that'll pay off later.
No, I think that Wayne's World is probably one of the. I think it is one of the most perfect rock and roll movies. Because like even though like they're not in a band or whatever the fuck, like they play music or whatever, but like there's a whole lot of rock and roll to it. You know what I mean? And I've always seen it as kind of like, probably in the top 5 like favorite like rock and roll like comedies of all time. You know,
sure,
not taken away from like Rock and Roll High School or anything like that.
On Empire Records is still
even
my
though
favorite
it's funnier.
music movie.
Oh, dude, yeah, Empire Records is a good one too. I mean, Guar, come on.
Say no more, Monet more.
You don't have to. Just Guar. All right, we're done here.
Yeah, and that leads us to another famous cameo and classic scene featuring the one and only Alice Cooper.
Yeah,
we're not worthy,
dude.
Another quote: "We're not worthy," and I think is this the origins of "Is That What She Said"?
Dude, I think so. I think so because I had never heard it before. Like, because everybody thinks of like The Office.
Yeah,
but like
that's the thing. You probably didn't hear it because I think one of the first times it was done on TV was by Chevy Chase in the mid '70s on SNL.
Oh.
So,
okay,
if you hadn't, at that time, you're a kid and you probably hadn't seen SNL, or if you had, you don't remember, you didn't see it in the '70s, that's for sure. And fucking, you don't got like fucking the internet to look that shit up back in the early '90s. So, fucking, Wayne's World comes around and they put it back into the film and kind of popularize it again. So, a lot of people think this is the origin, but it's not.
It's not.
Okay.
Good Wayne.
Milwaukee.
That fucking scene's so funny. It's like,
Hi,
You're
we're
just
in
like,
Delaware.
Does this guy know how to rock or what?
You know, I think that the scene with Alice Cooper is probably actually very true to how he probably is in real life.
Yeah, he's like
he's like a chill dude.
Well, he's a historian buff, you know.
Oh yeah, big time.
So,
And that was actually this was my first introduction to Alice Cooper. And years later, when my mom and my stepdad got together, and he mentioned Alice Cooper to me, and my mom liked Alice Cooper and stuff too. But when my stepdad came along and really like showed me Alice Cooper's music and stuff, and it hit me like because I totally forgot about him being in Wayne's World and all that shit. And then like I heard Feed My Frankenstein, and I was like, it's that one fucking song from that one fucking movie. I don't care. It's a cheesy ass song, but I fucking dude, I have it on my playlist for a reason. Just because, like, you always remember, like, fucking, you know, it's good shit, man. Alice Cooper will always be one of the greats. I mean, 100%. The guy's still out there killing himself every fucking night, literally. Not literally.
And I think they wanted to use a different song on this. I think they were like Mike Myers and them wanted to use, or the studio, somebody wanted to use like School's Out and something else. And Alice Cooper and his agent were the ones that were pushing to use Feed My Frankenstein. They were trying to get that over. And I think they were trying to get other people involved in the production because Cassandra Peterson, who's Elvira, she does background vocals, and then fucking Nikki Sixx plays bass on the track. So I think they were trying to get them into the film as well. And for whatever reason, there was a mix-up, and they didn't get put in. But that's what they were fighting for.
You mean Nikki Sixx actually plays his bass at some point in his life? That's crazy.
Yeah. Excellent.
Bass track. Fuck you.
he plays his bass instead of freeing it.
And the original choice, I believe, was Aerosmith, who passed on the role. But you see them.
The thing that makes the fucking
You okay,
part
Chuck?
two fucking suck. I hate
Well,
it.
they did the main song, right?
What, part two?
I thought Aerosmith did the main song at the end in the credits. The Wayne's World song. No?
I don't think so.
I can't remember.
I don't know.
I used to have this soundtrack back in the day, and I don't remember any Aerosmith being on it.
You know what? I have to go back. Aerosmith, the band, is right. Yeah, Aerosmith, the band, amazing musicians. Steven Tyler as a vocalist, I think he's got horrible range. I think his vocals have always sucked. I've never liked the guy, and he's a piece of shit in general. And I just, it went, and I was so excited for Wayne's World 2. So excited for it. And then I watch it, and I'm like, Aerosmith. The only thing Aerosmith ever did that was worth a shit was Revolution X, because
I love that game. It was a quarter horror, but I love that game.
That was one of the greatest fucking like arcade games ever. And
We streamed it before. Pretty sure.
I wish it could have been a different band, but you know, whatever. You know, it was a fun game regardless. But fuck Aerosmith.
So you're saying you're not a fan?
I mean, no.
Well, then it works out. It's because, you know, they were Mike Myers' original choice, and they passed on the film. And then after it became a huge success, they regretted it. So immediately when they were offered Wayne's World 2, then they come around.
Yeah, Steven Tyler was like, look at all the little girls that would love me. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. I got dark. Sorry.
But yeah, Alice Cooper. Like, that was another tape I had in my Walkman all the time, was Alice Cooper's greatest hits.
Man, besides Frankenstein, like
Poison. Poison was always my favorite.
Poison. I love Poison.
Like Cold Ethel and I Love the Dead. Like, come on, man. Like that Alice Cooper will never be anything but revered in this household.
My favorite Cooper song was Desperado. His version, not the Eagles version.
Oh, okay. Actually, I've got a 45 that has His version of Desperado on one side, and the other side is Only Women Bleed.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah. Only Women Bleed. It was his Beth, and it was so much better. Because Kiss sucks when it comes to ballads.
Kiss just sucks, in my opinion.
Kiss just sucks at making anything after 1985.
But oddly enough, I like the movie Detroit Rock City with Edward Furlong.
Because that's a great fucking movie as well.
It's a classic. It's funny.
Oh, speaking of Edward Furlong, that was another cameo with Robert Patrick as the T-1000.
Yeah.
Have you seen this boy? Oh, dude, that one got me as a kid. Like, completely. Because I just saw Terminator 2 not long before that.
Yeah, it just came out. It was like less than a year before this movie came out.
When he shows up, and I was like, no.
Yeah,
you're like, that's not. And then he comes and does. He's like, wow, like I don't know. It's a kid thing. It was just I got amazed by it. I was like, oh shit, T-1000. All right, points.
I think Myers didn't even want that scene in the film. He didn't think it would go over, and whenever they did it and saw the reaction that people had in the theater, they went crazy for it, and they were like surprised.
Yeah.
It was a couple of scenes like that. Cream of Some Young Guy was another one.
As a kid, I couldn't figure out why that was so funny. I was like, what? And then I got older and I was like, oh. Gotcha. Rob Lowe plays like the perfect douchebag.
Yeah, like they played that scene in front of a test audience and they fucking went nuts. So much so that they couldn't hear the next couple lines, so they had to put like a pause after he says that line, "Cream of Some Young Guy," to give the audience a chance to breathe. So, and another one he didn't believe in was the Bohemian Rhapsody scene.
Huh?
Easy for you to say.
Dude, too much cream of some young guy. Oh, that sounded weird. We're live. Fuck. Did I just mean to say that? Somebody say something.
We're making it awkward now.
You ever see the scene in Scanners when the guy's head blows up?
That part cracks me up, though. He's like, all right, we're going on. And he's just like, I'm having a good time.
I
told Dave that's how I felt like the first few times I had to do this shit alone. Whenever he was out,
whenever you're hosting, you're like, I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Then I feel like Major League, like whenever fucking Bob Uecker's out, and I'm like, ball, hit, caught.
Mike, what shirt are you wearing right now?
Metallica.
Wearing an old school Metallica shirt. Now, have you had that shirt, or did you just get it?
I got this at the fucking Gabriel's store, man, for $5. It's a fucking reprint.
Really?
Yeah,
$5.
$5.
Yeah, I can do that.
That was one of the ones we got at the concerts.
Nah, man, $5, man. That's like 1992 prices.
Yeah. Everybody always thinks it's an original too. Like whenever I go to concerts, I'm wearing it, and they're like, "Holy shit, that's fucking dope!" And I was like, "It's fucking cheap knockoff, brother." I ain't go front.
Metallica had some of the best like shirts and posters back in the day,
for sure.
Especially at like old school like fairs. You know, you'd pop the fucking balloons for like pictures, like the girls like barely showing their tits, or it was a picture of Metallica, like you know what I mean?
Ride the Lightning, you know, just like cool graphics and everything like that. It's either like very dark or you know whatever.
Used to get me in trouble all the time when I come back from fairs. Like no shit. My parents were like, "What is this demon jumping out of this fire?" I'm like, "Well, the song is called." And they're like, "Nah, we don't care." My parents thought Metallica was so bad as a kid, and then Marilyn Manson came along, and my mom was like, "Never mind, you can listen to anything but him."
Not so bad now, is it?
Yeah, I want to know.
I'm like, Mom, you realize I listen to other things that are worse, right? Okay.
I want to know what like today's version of Wayne's World would be like. What the hell? They're like, what T-shirts and music are they listening to and shit?
Oh God.
I don't know if you wanted to answer for that.
Shit that I don't even know the name to, dude. I don't know.
Kids these days.
It's such a weird world, man. There's shit that I like. People are like, "Oh, you know this person," and I'm like, never heard of them at all.
Right? And they're like a #1 artist, and you're like, "Oh, good."
It's like I went and saw Fallen in Reverse and Disturbed recently, I didn't pay for it. A friend of mine bought it for me. And I'm not really a big fan of it, like, really either. But it was a fun show regardless. But Falling in Reverse is one of those bands that I don't understand. And, like, everybody loves them these days. But I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with this generation? Like, it's a mess. He can't figure out if he's pop punk or he's heavy metal. Like, whatever. That's
new generation. It's the choice of a new generation.
You know what? Give me my Scorpions any day. All right. I'm sorry. Scorpions. Like, come on. My Scorpions, my ZZ Top.
Like a hurricane.
And my Slayer.
Some winger.
Speaking of Pepsi, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. Remember,
I would take Aerosmith over Winger.
Remember Crystal Pepsi?
Yeah.
They even tried bringing it back for a hot minute, and that didn't go over either.
I didn't try it. Did anybody try it when it came back?
No,
I didn't try it when it came back.
I was a kid, and I remembered it sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a kid, I thought it was like the worst version of Sprite ever.
Do you have sheets down by you, Chuck?
What?
The gas station sheets?
What?
The gas station sheets. Have you heard of it? Are you aware?
Oh.
Okay, never mind. They had this soda back in the day called It Soda. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
We called it shit soda.
Y'all remember Balls energy drink?
Balls. You drinking them balls?
Yeah. Anybody that bought a Balls, you always had to make fun of them.
I was just gonna say Surge.
Surge, remember?
Surge.
Vault.
But, hey, Burger King still has Surge.
Hey, Bulge?
Surge.
Ball. What? No, Balls.
Vault.
It was Vault?
Vault.
Yeah, you remember Vault?
I remember. Yeah. We still got Vault.
Still got Vault. What?
Yeah. It's not that good. It's not that great. It was good when I was a kid, but it was just...
Jolt?
Maybe it's Jolt I'm thinking of.
You're thinking Jolt.
Yeah, is that the one that tastes like a flat Coca-Cola?
Dude, Jolt tastes weird. I don't know. It has a weird aftertaste. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make
sense. That shit back in the day in high school.
It's like that Fruitopia shit you used to drink when you were like, in high school. You used to have the fucking the machines in the fucking cafeteria, and then you chug it, and then before you realize that you probably shouldn't chug things like that much acid in it at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Which one? Which one had the Panther on it?
Panther.
I don't remember Panther.
I don't remember Panther either.
Hold on. I'm trying to
Google people.
The Google people.
What was the clone Paul Rudd had in fucking Anchorman?
It
smells like pure gasoline.
Sex Panther.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not going to lie. That smells like pure gasoline.
Man, like, I used to always think that the 80s were the best. But after watching this movie again, it's like, man, the 90s weren't too bad neither, dude.
I remember a time when everybody was bad
Early
about the 90s. People were like, oh, 90s sucked. And, like, I was kind of one of those. I was like, yeah, 90s sucked, blah, blah, blah. And as I got older, I realized that, like, nope, 90s was all right. Music, movies, it was pretty good.
Yeah, because it keeps getting progressively worse. So it's like, 90s aren't looking so bad.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, like, you go back and, like, even just the way, like certain, movies in the 90s look, it's just like watching, like, old school, like, 70s or 80s films. The way they look, the way they sound, everything about it. There's a whole vibe to it. Even, like, 90s, like, horror films, 90s comedies, all that shit, they all had a very similar feel to them. And I kind of miss that feel. Like, there's that fun part of it. You know what I mean? Josta. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. But wasn't it Jasta?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
Josta.
I remember Josta. I can't remember how it was spelled. I just keep thinking of Jamie Josta from Hatebreed.
Justafarian.
Make some Hatebreed.
I like Hatebreed. But
I like their older shit more than their newer shit, but
I like all of it. But they'll never be terror. They've always wanted to be terror, and they'll never be terror.
But that's the cool thing about Wayne's World is that they bring in that influence from previous generations of music, and you get to enjoy it. Like we were talking about the soundtrack earlier, man. It's a jamming soundtrack. I had the cassette.
It is.
You know? Yeah.
That's
So-
like going back and watching a movie too. Like whenever they're in the donut shop, and then like you can hear Ugly Kid Joe in the background. I was like, I
Yep.
fucking forgot all about that fucking
Oh
song.
my gosh, that was the jam,
As soon as
man.
I heard it pop on, I was like, I gotta download this shit. Like I gotta listen to this jam.
Man,
It's like
the
fucking Ugly Kid Joe was the shit back in the 90s.
Ugly Kid Joe's America's Least Wanted.
Yeah.
was a favorite of mine that I had on cassette.
I mean, you had that. Then you had like, who else was on there? Fucking Black Sabbath with fucking Dio.
Yep. You had Black Sabbath. You had Cinderella. You had Jimi Hendrix. Some Clapton. Some
Speaking of Hendrix,
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
oh yeah, what the fuck's that song called? Sicka Micka.
Make a like a high, make a hiney ho.
Something like that.
That was like
Some weird
right
shit.
before Red Hot Chili Peppers started sucking. Yeah, I said it.
I don't know, man. Those guys are talented. I don't care.
Yeah, they're talented.
Yeah.
No, they are. They're really talented guys. But
Their drummer's fucking dope.
dude, Chad Smith's one of my favorite drummers. Flea's a great. Like their rhythm section's great. Guitar players have been whatever, and Anthony Kiedis is a piece of shit. So you want to talk about a boring fucking read? His fucking the Anthony Kiedis autobiography. I can tell you how that book goes right now, and it starts out with born, becomes an addict, gets laid, gets off the he gets off the drugs, gets laid more, gets back on drugs, gets laid more, does more drugs, and it's just you see the fucking pattern, right? And then yeah, fuck Anthony Kiedis.
So he writes music.
I mean, if you want to
Talk about music at all?
I don't think that he's ever had. I don't really. I think his lyrics suck for most part. I mean, there's been a couple of them that are good, but like I think that his shit's just fucking dumb.
I don't know why, but every time I think about Anthony Kiedis or fucking Flea together, I always think of that little cameo that he had in that movie, The Chase, with fucking Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, well, Flea's been in all kinds of fucking movies.
Fucking Henry Rollins is a cop.
I always think of Back to the Future 2 with Flea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's only in it for like
Hey,
2
Needles.
minutes, but yeah, Needles.
You know what I think of when I think of Flea in
Lebowski.
something? Is like
Oh,
in
yeah.
The Wild Thornberries. He was the. You ever seen that cartoon, The Wild Thornberries?
We don't have kids, Chuck.
Whatever, it's still a funny show. I watched it before I had kids, but like he plays like the youngest, who's like a really wild, like very clearly on the spectrum child who and he doesn't talk. He just goes. He doesn't have it's Flea that does it. I'm like, how much money I wonder he got made. Like he got paid for just doing that.
He was in one of your favorites, Son-in-Law.
Makes sense. Shitty bands, shitty movies.
So it's just not a clever name. The Shitty Beatles. They suck.
Whatever. But Wayne's World's a great movie, though.
It is. It
Um,
totally is. It
yeah.
makes me miss my flannel shirts that I used to wear all the time.
That's what I said. Back in the grunge days, I was always rocking flannels. I was a big Nirvana Pearl Jam head back in middle school.
I was when Kurt died, I was young. So I mean, like, 'cause I'm a little back from you all. Just
I think I was in 7th grade whenever he died.
Yeah, I was probably in 5th grade when he died. Because I remember watching when the news came on that he died. And I'd already been like listening to In Utero a lot. But yeah, no, like
He died in who? Cobain? He died in 94.
yeah, 94.
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
I'm not good with time periods or how old I was or whatever the fuck. I remember being a kid and I remember turning on the TV in my living room and Kurt Loder was talking about that Kurt Cobain was found dead. So I don't know how old I was, but you know.
Excellent.
Woo!
That's right, kids. Nirvana is not a clothing brand. It was a band. Kids today.
Yeah, it's true.
We just like it because it looked cool.
Name 5 songs, bitch.
If I didn't wear my flannel shirt like a normal person, I like to tie it around my waist because I thought that was cool.
Yeah, you always had your flannel tied around your waist. I remember that shit.
I still put my hoodie around my neck like a fucking piece of shit. Like tennis player or some shit. Like if I'm out wandering around, I've got a hoodie on, I get hot, I will tie it around my neck, and I look like a goddamn douchebag. But like it's like usually like
he just came off the court. Yeah, I just got done playing with the Underhills. I have a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich.
He's dressed like Carlton with a metal shirt on. How you doing?
Woo!
But you know what? You know, out of all the good songs on this, the one that is most famous, we mentioned earlier, is a Bohemian Rhapsody. Man, that scene, iconic.
It is.
I still don't know all the words to it. I don't think I ever will.
What?
I think it's funny how like Mike Myers got tired of filming that scene because his neck hurt, so he almost just pulled the whole fucking scene out of the movie.
Well, I think he threatened to walk if they didn't have Bohemian Rhapsody. I think the studios wanted to throw in like some Guns N' Roses or something more popular, and he wanted Queen. You know, he was like, "This is the hill I'm going to die on, and I want Bohemian Rhapsody in this movie."
I don't blame him.
And because I think the big issue was the studio was saying that they were going to have to pay too much for the rights to use it. And the same thing happened later on whenever he's going to buy the Fender, and he goes to play Stairway.
Denied.
Yeah, they couldn't even play any riffs from Stairway because like whenever he goes to play it, it's not, you know.
That's
fucking.
You go to a guitar store, start playing Stairway to Heaven. I've seen it happen.
Oh yeah,
I've heard this.
You play Stairway to Heaven, or there's like 10 songs that if you play, they'll kick you out. And I thought it was always like rumor or some shit, but I have actually watched.
So this is true.
Like
I thought it was a rumor too. So this is true.
It is very true.
What are the other songs?
Dude, you can see when somebody starts playing Stairway to Heaven in a guitar shop, you see all the workers just go, ugh. And then like they all like pretty much rock, paper, scissors who's gonna kick them out. Like
Led Zeppelin didn't write songs that everybody liked. They left that to the Bee Gees.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Led Zeppelin didn't write that song, so it doesn't matter. It's true. Stairway to Heaven was not written by Led Zeppelin. There was another band out like 10 years before that already wrote that, and they stole it. And people don't want to accept that. But go back and listen to the shit. It's the truth. They just fucking stole that shit. So fuck Stairway to Heaven. Fuck Led Zeppelin. Jesus. I mean, I still like some Led Zeppelin, but fuck them.
They're just shitting on everybody tonight.
I don't give a fuck.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, fuck you. Aerosmith, you fucking suck.
Fuck it.
Kiss,
but I praise Cooper though. I praise Cooper.
Yeah,
always praise Cooper. But yeah, I just say, whatever.
Dorito, dude.
How about Dorito? How about you not show Doritos? Have you seen who their new spokesperson is over in fucking Spain right now? Ugh.
I thought it was us.
It ain't us.
It's not us?
I can't look. I can't go into who to. We'll talk later. But don't be showing Doritos on here. I don't know. No. Doritos, fuck them. Fucking bullshit. Fucking assholes.
Who can I don't give a shit about the politics of anything anymore. You know what? If I like my Doritos, I'm gonna eat my Doritos. I don't give a fuck who's fucking.
Do you really want me to go into you while I'm thinking this right now? While I'm saying this, I can go into it right now if you want to.
No, because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Spain has a very, very pedophilic trans person fucking like running like as their fucking ambassador right now.
Well, that's their problem.
For Doritos. For Doritos.
You know what? I don't give a shit. Who's eating them? Who's promoting them? I don't give a fuck because they're delicious and I'll eat them. I don't give a fuck.
What are we talking about? Oh,
Bohemian Rhapsody.
It doesn't matter. None of it matters. We are just a product.
But they got the rights to Bohemian Rhapsody, and I think they filmed that scene, and the film didn't make it. It didn't premiere till after Freddie Mercury died. But they said that Mike Myers had sent a clip of them from that scene to Freddie to see it, and he said he enjoyed it. So Freddie Mercury did get to see it before he passed away. But
nice. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wonder do we know his opinion about that scene?
He said he liked it.
He did?
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't imagine if they would have used anything else, because like even with like the drunk dude, like let me go, like it's I remember as a kid,
he's all partied out
again.
Like, I remember as a kid, like before I ever touched drugs or alcohol or whatever, watching this, and like he's all fucked up and shit, and I was just like, why? Like what is this? Like why this guy's fucked up, he's drunk, and he eats coffee. Like I don't get it. Years later, when I would finally actually have my first real drunk, I would utter the words, "This is what they were saying in Wayne's World."
If you're gonna spew into this.
This man is calling me forward stat.
Yeah, because we've all been in that situation. Honestly, I will say this. I have been in a situation where I've been the drunk guy about ready to puke in the back when they're doing this fucking song, because my friends are assholes, and that's how it goes. Jason Bartlett, Matthew fucking assholes. Matthew fucking Payton. You motherfuckers. If you happen to be watching, I puked on your shoes for a reason. That's what I'm saying. Ooh, wouldn't it be fun if we're all drunk and driving safe? And like, this was back a long fucking time ago. And it's like, we got a car full of fucking people. Why not do the fucking like the Queen fucking like, Wayne's World fucking moment? It's a great idea. And I'm going, I gotta pee, I gotta puke, I might have to shit. You need to pull this car over. And they're like, we will not go. I'm like, it was bad. And then
I'm gonna hurl, bro.
Dude, that we finally got to a gas station, and before I even got out of the car, I just fucking all over everybody's shoes.
Give you a no hork guarantee.
Yeah, that was also one of the 5 first times I was called Chuck Nasty.
Oh,
you will learn. You will learn in time. If you keep watching the video Store Clerks, you will learn all the secrets of why my name is what it is.
Easter egg.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was like he said. Like Dana Carvey didn't know the words of that song either, so he was just pretty much just spitting them out, like just moving his mouth, trying to like what he thinks the words are or whatever.
See, it's not just me.
So I never knew whether or not that he didn't like. I didn't know if he was doing that on purpose as the character, or he just didn't know the words as an actor. Because like later on, whenever like the clip we showed earlier, where they're doing the countdown. Like he doesn't say anything either. He's he's like not saying anything, and they're like 5, 4, 3. If you watch his hand, it's just the same thing the whole time. He doesn't go 3, 2, 1. He just does like I just thought it was.
I love you, man.
I just thought it was one of those weird Garth mannerisms.
I love you.
Tell him
man.
thank you. Just tell him thank you.
I mean, I really love you, man.
I love you. No, I mean it. I love you.
No, I have to, like going back.
I love you too, Nordberg.
Like I have to give a lot of respect to Wayne's World for the fact that, I mean, like there was a lot of bands that were on, and going back to the soundtrack, that got me into the rock and the metal and shit that I got in,
Wait, Wayne's World got you into Dwayne Johnson?
What? Shut up. No. Like no, like like Alice Cooper, like that was my first introduction to him and Queen and all that. And I remember when I told my dad about me watching Wayne's World, and I was asking him about the song, and I didn't know what it was, and I was repeating it to him. And he's like, "Oh, it's Queen." He's like, "I've got some records at the house, And so as a kid, like I went rummaging through his records because of that. And I remember Yeah, Queen's A Day at the Races on vinyl. And I listened to that religiously as a child.
Bicycle.
And dude, yeah. Like, yeah. I appreciate the fuck out of Wayne's World for getting me into the music that made me into the man that I am today.
Yeah, it's like we were at that age where we're starting to listen to all kinds of different music, and for a popular film to come along that's kind of geared towards a younger audience and introducing those older songs and bands and influences, pretty cool, you know.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. Any movie like that. I mean, even down to like Airheads and shit. I mean, there's any rock and roll movie like that influences. I mean, even if you're like, okay, like you're a parent like me, you know, you watch certain movies with kids and like certain songs stick out. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, because the thing is, like, Dax has never watched Wayne's World, but he knows Bohemian Rhapsody. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just it's a good thing when movies, we don't have that much anymore. We don't have that many, like those many soundtracks that, you know, those moments in movies these days where you're like, oh yeah, that fucking it's not like that anymore. And
plus, I mean, at that time, Queen had fallen out of popularity, you know, in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said that Queen, their last couple tours, they didn't even come to the United States because, you know, the U.S. didn't care about them. So it's like Wayne's World brought them back into that limelight, and now they're the biggest band of all time. One of them.
Well, I mean, like, Queen was one of the biggest bands of all time before Wayne's World, but I mean, like,
I'm saying, not overseas, not in the U.S. though.
Well, I mean, and all, like, there was also like the fact that, like, you know, after a while, like, Mercury wasn't able to fucking travel too far. But yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say about that. I gotta pee. I'll be back.
It's like, yeah, man, and then that one thing happened, and I gotta piss. I'll see you later. No, like, I didn't even realize like Tia Carrera like had a band or whatever till like recently. Whenever I was looking at that shit,
yeah,
I was trying to find a couple of the songs she sang, and I couldn't find it. But then like I saw like she had her own like fucking whole page set up for nothing but music, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, she just got way hotter.
She's like a Grammy Award winning fucking artist. She does all of her own vocals.
I honestly had no idea.
That's the shit, you know. Fucking not only is she a beautiful woman, she's amazing. Those like the songs she performs, they're great. You know,
like I didn't really catch one until like I saw her. Like just, I mean, it's in the movie, but still, but like whenever she's playing and she keeps looking down at like the neck of her guitar to make sure it's like she's on the right frets and the keys and shit. And I'm like most actors that are playing musicians don't do that shit unless they actually play an instrument.
Yeah.
So that's whenever I kind of looked into it and I was like, well, I'll be damned. I was like, okay.
It's like you are perfection.
Yeah,
I love that one.
Fucking amazing.
Well, I think they said that she had never played bass before the film. And then they were like, oh, well, we're going to have you play this. And so she had to kind of like introduce herself to it or whatever.
All right. Well, she killed it. I mean, she did good.
Yeah, she was badass in this movie.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Dude, that's like the fucking like Garth's little gadgets. Like I didn't know this either. Like apparently like this whole role was based on his brother because his brother is like a fucking engineer or some weird shit and builds all kinds of crazy shit. So he like fucking based the character off him with all these little gadgets and shit. Then he made that fucking taser thing out of it. Fucking comes in like a little Western scene.
Was it Mike
Excuse me, I'd like to get through now.
Or Dana Carvey's brother?
Dana Carvey's brother.
Dana Carvey's brother.
Like he came out with some kind of fucking software back in like the 80s, back in the day, like some kind of video, whatever the shit it was. Some kind of video software and gaming software.
Video, whatever the shit.
Yeah. It's a pretty good name for a company.
Yeah. Because he had a ton of props in this movie.
Fucking mechanical hand.
I don't know why that cracks me up every time I watch it. I don't know
why. We don't talk enough. Okay.
We fear change.
Fucking Rob Lowe, like he fucking kills me in this movie.
Yeah,
I
He's
hated
such a
Rob
fucking
Lowe for the
asshole.
longest time. Yeah, for the longest time, I hated him. Like no matter what he was in. Because as a kid, you kind of like
man.
you kind of take the actors when
Benjamin.
you're a kid as like that's who they actually are. So like you just kind of like, oh, this guy's a douchebag. You know,
Exploit local cable TV show. I hate to see who that is.
yeah. Rib for her pleasure.
Ew.
How to pick up women.
If Benjamin was an ice cream flavor, he'd be pralines and dick. Oh man. But yeah, I think Rob Lowe had just came off that whole sex tape scandal or whatever,
Yeah.
and this kind of brought him back.
What kind of scandal was it?
Sex tape.
What do you do?
Had sex
Sex
on
tape.
tape.
What was
He had a lick me out.
why was it? Why was it the scandal?
Because the sex tapes weren't common back then.
But like, I mean, he cheated on his wife. Like, why was it a scandal?
Because it wasn't popular.
But that's not really a scandal. Like he did something that he wasn't supposed to do.
It was scandalous.
He cheated on his wife, and he had a video of that's what it was.
Did he
Like-
cheat on his wife?
Yeah, he cheated on his wife, cheated on everybody.
I don't know.
He was a piece of shit. He was. In his younger days, he was kind of a piece of shit. And he probably is still now, but I still like the guy, whatever.
He seems cool now. He's older and
I mean,
wise.
yeah, he got his shit together. He's good.
He
You know,
paints him as
whatever.
a kid. Right, wrong movie.
I don't care.
And yeah, the thing about the Garth character is that he's so awkward. You can't tell when when the actor is making a mistake, like when he doesn't know the words, when he's awkwardly headbanging in the car. You just think it's the character, so you can't really make a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He wasn't married. He wasn't married at the time. It was one of the chicks was underage.
Oh,
That'll do it.
so he was a douchebag. I take it back. Yeah, Rob, fuck him. Douchebag.
We've had a lot of awkward moments tonight.
Which goes with Garth.
In fact, I keep using that word, awkward.
Well, don't use it. It won't
Hashtag
be that
awkward.
way. If you don't use it, you can't say it is that, if you just say, I mean, you just gotta be the way,
Did anybody watch the second one?
Nope.
Okay, that's it.
I watched clips from it actually because I was like, and like YouTube has like a whole like playlist, like some of the better like clips from it, and I forgot about some of that shit. There is funny stuff with the sequel,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's like Up in Smoke and Still Smoking. You know what I mean? It's like Up in Smoke is like straightforward, comedy, blah blah blah. And then like you have, the sequel, which is a little cheesier, a little campier. And I think Wayne's World 2 is kind of like that too. Like there's like funny moments, but you're just kind of like, it almost plays like Dumb and Dumber. You know what I mean? Like remember how Dumb and Dumber had all those
Big gulps, huh?
weird weird
Yeah.
scenes where like the kung fu shit and all that. It had that kind of thing.
No, but that was on purpose. Like whenever I went back and watched Wayne's World 2, I was like, man, this feels clunky. Like it's just it seems like they had a bunch of different ideas and then just put them in like in certain spots. I was like, it doesn't have the flow like it does in the first film. Because you can have the goofy scenes, and if they flow together well, then it's fine. But whenever it's clunky and it just kind of moves around, you're just kind of like, okay, we'll try this and see if it works, and it doesn't. And then the next one, we'll try this, and it's like, okay, that was kind of funny, but it's just a series of bits.
Yeah, and you could tell right away how clunky it was too. You could tell like right away it wasn't flowing like the first one did. But one thing that got me excited is the dude that plays Dell is a dude that played Aaron in Alien 3.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh shit, and he acted completely different, and it flipped me out.
I remember when
beat him to death with his own shoes.
That story is so good.
when Wayne is running to all the different places, like the wedding he thinks is going on, and it's just like, I don't know, that part's funny. Like it doesn't get the same feel as the original does. I know there was talks about a third one, but I know that Mike Myers and Dana Carvey had kind of a falling out for a little while that kind of like cut ties with that. I watched a Dana Carvey interview with
Stern.
Who?
Howard Stern.
Was it Stern or was it? Because no, it was a David Spade's show, and he was talking about it on there. And
you talked about it on Stern too.
Okay. He talked about it. Stern too.
Party on.
Party on.
Well, I think I'm saying just most people remember it from that,
right?
Because that was the thing. Because I don't think a lot of people knew about their beef.
No, true, yeah. Because Wayne's World 3 was supposed to be a thing, and it just never happened. Like I honestly, we've had Jan Silent Bob, we've had Bill and Ted. You know what? Like, come on. Let's just go ahead and make a horrible Wayne's World 3. Come on, just make a shitty fucking part 3 so we can get it over with, and we can all
another
go.
Jay and Silent Bob movie in the works, apparently.
What is it?
Another Jay and Bob movie in the works.
Of course,
we had a Bill and Ted 3 also, so why not?
Yeah,
making the fourth one.
I have not.
But the thing is, I was like, when it comes down to morons,
it's good.
Like Wayne's World, I think, like, I don't know, it's like the only one I give a fuck about.
Yeah, like how would Wayne and Garth adjust to today? Like, how do you think they'd be doing during the pandemic?
Are they still going to be doing the cable access show in the basement? Or what are they doing?
I figured they'd be YouTubers, right?
But yeah, excellent. Probably. But like, how do you make a Wayne's World 3 without it being like Bill and Ted 3? Oh, they got kids now. Oh, they're doing the same shit they're doing. Oh, okay. Well, that's the only problem with this, because like, how else could you go with that? Oh, there's a bunch of fucking like 50-year-old men fucking like in a basement somewhere making a fucking show.
Right.
50-year-old men fucking in a basement.
What? It's a whole different movie altogether.
That's not what I meant. Fuck.
Ganga banga.
But like, seriously though, I mean, like, but Wayne's World 3, I've always thought would be like an interesting like film. But man, coming up with a story plot that doesn't fucking just completely drag under the other two. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like one was its own thing. 2 was almost what would like it had too much of like a what scary movies would feel like later on, if that makes any sense. Like there's too many parodies. There's not a whole lot of story. It's just a lot of like it's Family Guy. Yeah. It's just like, oh, and then that time that I did that coke with that one guy, and then it goes to another fucking scene, and like it just it doesn't. It's not horrible, but it doesn't hold up from the original at all. And if
it's definitely not as funny as the first one,
right? I mean, it's hard for movies. Like if you look at movies, especially comedies, around that time, it usually never was. What the fuck is so funny? No. But like usually the original was always like hilarious, and then the sequel will come out and you're like, that's not nearly as good, and it's even worse these days. But like, I don't know.
But in the first one, I did like the Laverne and Shirley Milwaukee Brewery little scene. That shit always cracked me up.
And it's not like I feel like a younger generation can't really appreciate a lot of the gags in this film because it was more geared towards what was going on at the time. Like Laverne and Shirley. Like most kids are not going to know anything about that.
Right.
Even the part where they roll up next to the old guy and they
pardon me.
they
Do you
still
have
make
any
them?
gray poupon?
Like
Do they still
kids,
make
you know, yeah, I think so. But I mean, kids nowadays would be like, what? Like, you know, they don't
No.
realize it was a commercial back then.
In the
Real-
Newpern gag, I'm sure they won't get.
No,
For
little.
the record, it's
Little
just
yellow
the younger crowd. Gray poupon sucks. I don't care what anybody says. That
So
shit
it
tastes
is-
like ass.
What it
it's
is
not good.
It's
What do
Dijon
you-
mustard.
Why do you think
It's
they call
not
it
good.
poop?
I said it. Fuck it.
Why do you
I
think
don't
they call it poupon?
Because it's shit.
Pooped on. Gray pooped on.
Pardon me, do you have any gray poupon?
It sucks
Yeah?
while it cuts.
It certainly does suck.
The suck cut.
You just disrespected the sponsor. Yeah.
Publicly
It
humiliated.
definitely does suck.
What's the part where she goes, could you be any more insulting?
Yeah.
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 I've actually,
think-
no.
I think he's poking you.
I actually took that scene as as an idiot when I was younger.
Oh, tell me that.
I completely took that scene as a fucking way to act when you and your girlfriend are getting into an argument. And pretty much the same thing was said to me, like, can you be more of an asshole? And I'm like, I really can. Want to see how it happens? And it's like, I don't know. Because you kind of get in that mindset. Moving on.
And we did the clue endings. We had the multiple endings. Which was your
Sure.
favorite? Mine was actually the first one. I actually like the bad ending the best.
I do too.
The Scooby-Doo ending. Old Man Withers.
I
I just like Wayne's face whenever the house was on
The
fire.
fire, yeah.
And they show him and he's just staring
He's like,
with this evil grin on his
Why?
face like Satan. That shit cracks me up.
I just remember as a kid, when they were talking about like the full body cavity searches. I was like, what does that mean?
Nothing good.
What are they doing to that man? I'm just like, oh. And as I got older and I watched it, I was like,
oh.
that's painful.
Well, interesting enough. What I was going to say was, Dave mentioned Clue. Do you know the chick that plays Noah Vanderhoff's
Yep.
wife was
Yep.
Yvette from Clue?
Yes, she was.
Oh,
Clue is one of my
the
Clue
maid.
is one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't care what anybody says. That is one of the greatest
Oh,
comedies.
it's a great movie, of course. Does anybody not like that movie?
Dun,
I've
dun,
never-
dun, dun, dun. I
I
am.
I see you telling my girl.
The one part was funny, like whenever the dude's standing there by the fucking camera and he's like, do I scare you? She's like, no. Do you want me to? Then later on he's like, your wife is a major babe.
Thanks.
She's just got this grin on her face.
Yeah, I can't forget about good old Noah Vanderhoff,
Right. That's what you're going to say.
Brian Doyle Murray, Bill Murray's brother. God, he's been in everything
Remember
too.
the Noah's Arcade rap?
Combustible,
I think
where the
everyone
games
will.
are played. It's chill. It's fresh. It's Noah's Arcade.
All right. Good. That was one of the about
Man
this
has
movie.
no penis.
He blows goats. I have proof.
This movie, like the one thing that doesn't make any sense is you never see any pot being smoked. And I'm sorry, but like I've spent a better part of my life with people like Wayne and Garth. They're all smoke weed. They all do drugs. They all do something. I don't know what they.
Well, maybe in your world, all right, but in Aurora, Illinois, we're clean. All right,
In
We got
Aurora,
clean living.
no, actually in Aurora, Illinois, because I got a buddy that lives over near that way. He'll even tell you there's only a couple of things actually they're to do in that fucking area, and it's have strange sex with random people or do all kinds of drugs because there's nothing to do otherwise. And I'm
Sure there is.
sorry, but if you're like, hey man, how are you not on something? Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
What are
Hey,
you talking about? You go down to Stan Makita's Donuts. You get some coolers. You go over to the gas works and fucking
yeah,
hang out.
because you've got the
You know?
munchies. They don't ever show exactly like how they got. No, crullers are a munchie thing. Okay, I know I buy them all the fucking time. It's just like Scooby-Doo. It's like, we all know they're fucking high. We know they're fucking stoned. Like, I've never met someone who had the whole, like, yeah, like, dumbass moron in my brains are fucking mush fucking attitude. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do it. Like, I never understood that either. Rant time, fucking put yourself in. Like, I don't understand that at all. Because, like, you got these motherfuckers out there that, like, you know, they act like they're fucking morons, and that's fucking cool. And like, oh, I smoke a lot of pot, and blah, 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 blah. Cool. You're a moron. I smoke pot all day long, and I get so much done, and I do whatever the fuck I need to. And you got these fucking idiots out here in movies making fucking potheads look stupid as fuck. And everybody's like, like, oh, let's praise it, blah, 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 blah. And this movie doesn't even show fucking 1 ounce of drugs. Huh?
Sure it does.
That doesn't make, no, it doesn't. No. Oh, they did drink a little bit.
Yeah, alcohol is a drug, pal. All right, get educated.
Is it really? Oh,
oh God, what's he doing? And you think Aurora is a boring place? Try living in Delaware. Wow.
Hey, look,
I'm in Delaware. I'm like a hey me, whatever the fuck. No, like, seriously though, like, you have all these fucking movies like Scooby-Doo, like even the Scooby-Doo movie, they had the scene where like all this smoke's rolling out of the fucking van because they want you to believe something, and they open it up like, oh, they're barbecuing in the back.
Who the fuck barbecues in the back of a van?
Like, I think if Wayne's World was made now, it'd be a pot comedy. And actually, when it was made, it could have been a pot comedy then. Most likely, I would be willing to bet that Mike Myers didn't want that to be a part of it.
I don't know. I don't think they needed it.
But it made more sense. Because, like, why are they so stupid?
They're not stupid.
No, they're pretty dumb. Like, they're pretty. They're I never understood it because, like, I've been a drug user for years. Okay, like, you know, like, I had my battles with fucking drugs and shit. I've always smoked fucking weed. And I never understood the whole fucking idea of being a fucking moron and it being okay. Hey, man, I have known so many idiots. Okay, and I'm like, why are you like that? You've been smoking pot for a year. Eat my asshole, you fucking poser bitch. Like, are you fucking serious right now? You're gonna fucking talk like a surfer piece of shit because you fucking smoke some fucking weed? Fucking eat my asshole. Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm so fucking tired of that fucking shit. It's always the fucking same fucking thing. In every fucking movie, they come up, and so it doesn't make sense that in this fucking movie, they're not smoking nothing. I ain't doing nothing. They're having a couple of fucking beers. I have a fucking couple of beers. I ain't fucking doing something stupid like whatever the fuck they fucking do. Like, how did it make fucking sense? Same with fucking Bill and goddamn Ted. That you don't see them fucking, like, you know, lighting the fuck up, and those guys are dumb as shit. Like, I don't get it at all. Like, those guys are like dumber than a box of fucking nails being fucking fucked by a fucking, like, you know, plastic fucking, like, fuck doll. Like, they don't, it doesn't make any goddamn sense whatsoever. You all are stupid. Why are you stupid? Like, I'm not saying like you smoke weed because I smoke weed, I love weed, whatever the fuck. But like, if you're playing a drug character, you're playing that idea of that kind of person. Don't fucking like act like you're born that fucking dumb.
Because they smoke the pot and they become dumb.
No. That doesn't work because you don't.
Doesn't work.
There's not anything that says anything about anything in any of these fucking movies. The only fucking movies that came out around that fucking time that actually fucking like spewed out the idea of like, hey, cannabis is, you know, whatever. Spew's a fun word. You know, it's like, you know, like Friday came out and like, you know, Cheech and Chong, and you had all that shit and whatever. There wasn't really like, you had all these fucking like pseudo fucking pot movies that weren't pot movies. Wayne's World is a pot movie, but there's not one sign of pot. in the goddamn thing. Like, god damn it. I have known so many fucking morons in my fucking day, and I have heard motherfuckers that fucking talk like this, they act like this, and they smoke lots of weed. And they do for other things as well. And it's but I have a reason to. I know why they're stupid. Like I know because it isn't just
because they smoke the weed.
It isn't just because they smoke the weed because they're doing fucking everything else.
Because once you smoke the weed, it makes you
act like they're
stupid.
fucking like
It's a gateway drug.
No, shut the fuck up. Don't you say it. Don't you say that shit.
What? If you smoke weed, you don't do dumb shit?
No, I do know.
Okay. Let's take a look. Says today at 3:25 p.m.
I'm gonna totally pull. What's that one fucking guy?
This motherfucker,
the preacher guy, when he was asking about the demons,
the weed.
The preacher dude, you know what I'm talking about? The guy that was like being asked about he won't ride on he won't fly on certain flights because people are demons. You know what I mean? He's like,
I don't know.
Never say that again. Like,
I don't know,
I'm not saying because I am a cannabis user for medical reasons as well as recreational. I'm not saying anything bad about those. I'm just saying if somebody's going to act like they're in the drug culture, maybe we should see some drugs.
I'm just talking about dumb shit on drugs. Speaking of, today, because of Facebook and Instagram went out, we were exchanging cell phone numbers, and this motherfucker puts his phone number in the chat. Like literally, hey, here's my phone number, guys. And he goes, I need your numbers. And I'm like, okay. So I punch in the number in my phone and I text him and I say, Mike. And he responds,
like, no.
He responds, no. And I'm like, and I said, no, this is Mike. And then I get a response that says, okay, Mike who? And I was like, what? I go back in the chat. I was like, do you get this wrong number? And he's like, and he goes, ha, I'm still, I'm still.
Yeah, it took me a minute.
I'm like, I literally asked for your phone number, and then I messaged you, and I'm like, it's Mike.
I was like,
Mike who? Mike who? What the fuck? Who the else would be messaging?
I was getting pissed too. I was like, who the fuck is this? Who's messaging me? Blah, blah, blah. I was getting shit all fucking morning from like bullshit, and all of a sudden, like, Mike. No, I am Mike. Huh?
I am legend. See, that's what happens. That's what happens when you smoke. That's what happens when you smoke weed. All right.
Hey, I'm not denying the fact that there, temporary memory loss is a real thing.
If you're high on weed, would you want to do extreme close up?
Probably. Not right now, but probably.
Excellent.
Oh, fuck.
Woo!
Oh, man.
I think everybody needed that.
That was good.
Hey, little thing, let me light my candle because I
haven't had a good Chuck rant in a hot minute. I didn't think we'd get one on Wayne's World.
Excellent.
Whew. Hey, I love Wayne's World. I just don't understand.
That was great.
Party time.
I needed that.
Excellent.
We got $5,000. $5,000.
We can dance if you want to. We can leave your friends behind. If your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, they're no friends of mine.
You know what cracked me up?
Every podcast I go on, somehow I fucking throw that in there. I have to do it.
We'll have to do the Biodome one then.
Huh?
We'll have to do the Biodome one. That's one of the main songs in that movie.
Shh.
Speaking of, wasn't your girl Tia Carrera in Jury Duty?
Maybe.
Yes, she was.
Maybe.
I quit giving a fuck after True Lies. To be honest.
True Lies. She's a mega babe. Swing.
She's magically delicious.
I'm surprised her career didn't take off. Being that being that good looking, and being that talented as of a musician, I've thought. I mean, she's done stuff, but I would have thought she would have been a bigger name.
Yeah. That's another thing in the fucking.
Not yet.
Airheads is one of the greatest movies of all time. That's one of the greatest rock and roll movies of all time. It's fantastic. It's amazing. You can't get around it. It's something that I love completely. It's a great movie.
Okay,
but Wayne's World kind of started. When it came out.
Chester.
I used to masturbate constantly.
God damn it.
I was the editor of a school newspaper.
Excuse me? Baking powder?
Pop quiz, asshole. Lemure God.
Oh, that was good.
He's watching all over us.
I don't know why this cracks me up, but I always find like weird shit in movies, and it cracks me up, and it's not typically something that cracks everybody up. But in this one, whenever he's up on the rooftop talking to Tia Carrere and Cantonese, and then Laura Flynn Boyle comes up, and she's trying to make him jealous because she's with that other guy, and she's like, and like making out with him or whatever. Why the fuck do they fall through the skylight? I'm like, what is going on here?
Like look out!
I've made out with a lot of chicks, but I've never like fell through a skylight. We're making out so hard.
Hey, look, I've made out with some chicks that are before, and I've never fallen through a fucking skyline. But
Skyline Chili?
No. Can't talk about that. But I have been with females who are insane, and she pinpoints a good portion of them, and it's like,
I'm glad I'm single.
Who's Stacy?
Yeah, no, I can't stand that fucking bitch. I couldn't stand that. I could not. No, I've dealt with that. I have dealt with that, and I just no. It's like when a girl fucking was like trying to make you fucking jealous, and you're like, I've been done for months. I don't care anymore.
Like, I don't even own a gun, let alone enough to necessitate a rack.
What is this?
What am I going to do
with a gun rack? You don't like it? Fine. She's so pissed. It's like you just buy something so random for somebody, then you're pissed that they don't like it.
Yeah, that was still when she was.
You're gonna lose me.
That was when she was still swallowing her food. If you remember her, years later, she kind of looked like a ballerina that been dead for 3 years. Whatever.
I have a question though.
What?
Did you guys ever find Bugs Bunny attractive when he was dressed up like a girl bunny?
No.
No.
Me either.
Apparently they cut that. Apparently Mike Myers laughed really hard at something else.
Idea, Tim.
Because YouTube knows how to pick them.
You win. You win.
I don't know.
Mama.
Because we're partying. Because it's Tuesday, it's 11:42, and it's time to party.
Yeah,
Video Store Clerks Podcast.
If your kids are in bed, it's time to get it going. Hey, yeah.
I always like that whenever she's riding the bicycle, they're playing hockey in the street, and she's riding by saying, "Hi, Wayne. Hi." And then, bam, nails that fucking car.
Dude, when I was watching it last night, I totally forgot about that part, and like I spit fucking beer at my fucking nostrils. Like, oh man, like the movie's like it's so good. Like it's if you're a fan of Saturday Night Live and all that shit or whatever, like it is one of those that it was one of the starter SNL movies.
Yeah. I mean, it was the biggest one. What Blues Brothers was the only bigger one before that.
Yeah, like and that's a fucking classic too. But like this movie, there's something about Wayne's World that because I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it when I rewatched it because again we had been mixing up with movies and shit, and I was watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure the other day, and I was really glad that I didn't have to finish it. But like with Wayne's World, I was like, I can't wait to watch this fucking movie. Like, there's just something about it. The soundtrack, the humor, even when it comes down to like the humanist reactions, the emotions about certain things. It's not a serious movie whatsoever, but there are moments where like you can relate to, what Wayne's going through. You can relate to what, Garth's going through. And,
I'm being shit on.
What?
I'm being shit on.
Who's being shit on?
That's all. Shit on. And you know what really pisses me off? Wait, don't go.
But it's true though. I mean, like it goes back to what I said earlier. The movies from the 90s had a certain feeling about them, just like the movies from the 80s, movies from the 70s, and comedies especially in the 90s had their own little flair to them. And these days we don't get that. A lot of times these days with comedies, we get movies that are labeled as comedies, and they're more drama than anything. There's not really much comedy behind them, and that's a problem. And then we have the comedies that are uber offensive and uber dirty and whatever the fuck. I like those too, but there's just something about those punchlines. And those moments where you're like, oh shit, okay, like those Easter eggs and all that stuff. We don't have that anymore. And I think that when it comes down to comedies, we're even more lacking on that. And I think Wayne's World will always be in my top 10 favorite comedies of all time, because it's rock and roll, it's SNL, it's smart. It's smart comedy. If they just, I don't know, smoke weed, it'd make even more sense.
See, that's where I disagree. Where I don't feel like they needed the weed. I don't feel like they're dumb characters. I feel like when I watch Bill and Ted, I feel like they're dumb characters. But I don't feel like Wayne and Garth are dumb by any means. They're just unconventional.
But
it's like they just want to rock out. They're like, obviously, Mike Myers and Dana Carvey are much older, but they're trying to portray guys that are in their early 20s.
Yeah, but guys,
I'm out of school. I'm in between jobs. I'm just working jobs.
But like the way
I live in my mom's basement.
I mean, because as a pothead from the age of 13, 14 years old, like the way they act, they were like the older fucking people that like I hung out with. Like, Mike Myers, yeah. And it's like, yeah, man, you just come in smoking a huge blunt. Of course you're gonna act that way. And I think that there needs to be a little bit more of why. It's like, oh, because of where they're from, they're fucking morons. No, there's more to it. They're just not wanting to say it. And that's my issue with that, because I feel like those guys, just like Bill and Ted, like there is definitely cannabis, shrooms, acid, anything like that would be in these guys' mindsets to have the humor they have, to have the mannerisms that they speak, because sometimes that just seems to be the way it is. Like I've never been a fucking like I've never been that guy, but like I've known that guy, and I've known these guys, and that's my only qualm about it. It's just the fact of like we don't have a reason why they're fucking stupid. Give me a reason why they're fucking dumb. Like, give me.
I don't think they're stupid, though.
But
I think they're just rock and roll nerds.
But as a
That's what
rock
they
and
come across like
as
to
a
me.
rock and roll nerd, though, like I don't see that though. Like I don't want to at all see that.
And it's another thing, you know, it's like what, at 92, I'm probably 11 or 12. So fucking, you know, back then it was always cool to me to be able to watch a movie and hear people talking in a different lingo. Like to hear all the shit that they're saying, you never heard shit like this before.
Watching airplane and shit, yeah.
Squeeze me and all this.
Squeeze me baking powder.
Yeah, all these different catchphrases and their mannerisms and their just the way they act. I was like, I don't know anybody like this at all. So it was always interesting to me. Anytime I see a film like that where people have their own kind of language, more or less, then I always find it fascinating.
Yeah, no shit. Exactly. It's obvious that Shaggy and Scooby are fucking potheads. Obvious. That's why they put the fucking scene in the movie. With like, they're cooking. Oh, okay, I'm sure.
Off to the
we all knew what they were fucking cooking.
The Mirthmobile, good old 76 AMC Pacer.
Huh?
Jigga.
I don't like those small cars.
What cracks me up though is whenever they get that money or whatever, and they're driving around him and Tia Carrera. And she's like, well, not that. Okay, there's that, but like the fucking CD player. Like it's just like this fucking like Discman kind of just chilling on top of the dashboard, and he's just like,
yeah, that was part cracked me up because she's like, oh, where'd you get the CD player?
With the money.
Yeah, it's like nice.
That was my first car had one of those little CD players in it.
Like that thing would skip like no other.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a Pacer, not a Gremlin.
Skip protection, my ass.
Right,
you're walking around town, and all of a sudden,
he has the licorice thing installed.
This doesn't sound like beautiful people. What's happening here?
Apparently, that was Dana Carvey's idea too. I guess like his brother made something like that before.
Because that's the kind of shit. If we were young and we got a buttload of money, we'd buy dumb shit like that. Like I
do that now.
Like like in part 2, doesn't he have like a soda dispenser or water dispenser?
Whenever they do the fucking Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Yeah.
It's
so dumb.
Like where the fuck was he gonna keep all the fucking shit in the trunk? Does he have a line from the trunk going up to the fucking floor?
Maybe, he's got them scientific skills. He's got all the little gadgets and everything like that. So it's possible.
I just want to know what the helmet was for that he wore whenever he was beating the shit out the hand. Because even fucking like Rob Lowe looks at him, he's like, "You're a smart guy." He's just fucking wearing this helmet with like a video camera and a bunch of other shit on it. Just beating the shit out of this fucking mechanical arm. Meatloaf in this film. We talked about him before. Yeah.
Shitty Beatles.
Tiny.
Shitty Beatles.
Kurt Fuller. We got to give props to Kurt Fuller.
Always the bad guy back in those days.
He's fucking great, man.
And that part, I don't know why that part with the flashlight always cracks me up too.
Yeah.
Stand back.
What are you doing with the flashlight, Russell?
I'm supposed to be stopping you guys. Benjamin's my friend.
Oh, you don't say 2 or 1. Why not? You just don't. Okay.
Him and his fucking tracksuits.
Wayne, we see your mouths moving.
It's so hard not to count along.
Like the one time they're just both like.
See your lips moving, guys.
You're nodding.
So fucking good.
And then Garth's dream woman, little Easter egg, is Dan Aykroyd's real life wife, Donna Dixon.
Really? I did not know that. But I did love that scene though. Like we used to do that shit all the time whenever we were in like middle school. The fucking
I do that
Foxy
now.
lady shit.
Take
That-
you
We
home.
used to always dance around the bowler and
Make
shit.
your own mind.
And apparently that whole scene where he's doing the dance and everything like that, it was completely improv.
Yeah.
Dana Carvey did that on the spot.
You know, I've
Does it
actually
mean-
gotten laid because I like completely repeated that entire scene once.
Whoa.
Well, in fact,
I must have
Sex.
slipped.
girls
Sex?
like
Yes,
humor.
please. So yeah, man.
I just
Pretty
like whenever he's in the fucking donut shop and he's making that whole fucking plan. He's like, all right, I can take this and bounce this satellite off this, and that'll go over there. Then this right here will bounce back off to that, and then it'll be a Mr. Big's limo.
And then it's almost too easy. Oh, and he opens the door and those guys are training. Like in James Bond movies.
It's like, what are you going to use
Always-
these guys for?
I always wondered
Probably
what
a
to
ton
do.
of little gags I'm not even thinking of. But
Yeah, we just watched it like
yeah.
a few hours ago.
Yeah, I'm glad we did this one.
It
any
only took. I was going to say it only took 34 days to film. It was,
Yeah.
and
other-
we didn't even mention that directed by
Oh, what's her
Lauren,
name?
or yeah,
Penelope Spheris.
Spheris. Okay.
the documentary.
Who was in
She
her
was the
40s.
one that she was the one that made
I can't
fuck.
think of what it's called.
Suburbia.
Suburbia.
well, she also made. hold on.
There's a
The
couple.
Rascals.
There's a couple documentaries. She did some rock and roll documentaries.
Yeah. What's her name again?
Spheris. Penelope.
Penelope.
It's breathtaking.
You don't get that one, Dizzy.
I think we're like the main two club dreadheads. Fucking love that shit.
Yeah, but she came on this film as a director, and she said it was a miserable time working with Mike Myers. He was so difficult. She said,
I heard that a lot about him.
"Yeah, he was very needy, and he just didn't have hardly anything to say." There we go. We got another dreadhead. Circle eater.
He wanted 1,000 M&Ms in a brandy glass, or else he wouldn't go on stage that night.
Which is
Man,
based
if
on
you
the
take
true
out the
story.
Bengal tiger. But the store
She
clerk
was-
and his son were a different story altogether. I had to beat them to death with their own shoes.
Yeah, she was the same one that did the decline of Western civilization. She did the
Sounds like
decline. The first one, which was the punk rock documentary that had bands like the Germs and Fear, as well as Black Flag. And then the next documentary was the decline of. I don't think it was Western civilization too, but it was the decline of whatever the fuck, and it was basically like a hair metal bands, and it was like, documentary like Ozzy, like on a normal morning, and he's like all fucked up, and like the guitar player Chris, I can't remember his name, from Wasp. It's a very famous scene of him in a like a cave. That's like a pool, and he's chugging vodka in front of his mom. It's a really sad scene, but and then after that, she made the third one, which was going back to the punk rock roots of things, and it was like gutter punks, and it wasn't as musically inclined as the other ones. It was more like focusing on like, gutter punks and like how they live and things like that. But yeah, like it's kind of weird that like that she I mean, it makes sense that she made that she made this movie, but at the same point, like, after doing documentaries that have such a hold, because they're very, very, I mean, like they're very big in the punk rock world, and then her turning around doing Wayne's World. It's kind of strange, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of because if you watch the original Western, the Decline of Western Civilization movie, it's pretty brutal. I mean, you see punk rock as how as punk rock should be, and yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but there you go.
Excellent.
Woo! Also, the best shirt in the movie was whenever the dude was wearing that Cramp shirt.
Yeah, and yeah, I saw
Cramps
that, and it didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me that he would wear the Cramps. I don't see that guy liking the Cramps at all. The Cramps are a.
What's a bad time of the month?
No, like, you know, when it comes to the Cramps, I mean, like, they're a band that
I've been listening to them since probably like the late '90s.
They're not the most masculine band. They're very you know, there's the punk and glam thing mixed together and all that shit. And I didn't see that guy like being a fan of Cramps. He seems more of like a you know, a Slayer, Metallica fan. I didn't buy that at all. Because like when I saw that, I was like, whatever. You don't like the Cramps. Fuck you. Like, and honestly, I will go on the fucking record right now. I don't know why anybody would like the Cramps. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Like, everyone wants to fucking like talk about the Cramps. Oh, the Cramps and blah 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 blah. And it's like, shut the fuck up. They're not that good. They're not that good of a fucking band. Shut the fuck up. What? Because Wednesday Addams had a fucking like YouTube, TikTok fucking like explosion. You know, fuck you. Like, it's fucking bullshit. The Cramps aren't that great of a fucking band. Like, cool, they had their fucking place in fucking rock and roll history. I respect it. But I'm not gonna fucking like act like they're fucking like the old fucking holy fucking the now when it comes down to fucking, you know, goth music and all that shit. Fuck them. Like, nah, I don't give a fuck about that. That guy didn't look even like there needed to be a Slayer shirt on him or a Metallica shirt, not a fucking Cramp shirt. Seriously, those guys are supposed to be fucking metalheads. Cramps are not metal. Cramps are like fucking.
Well, I'm sorry.
Cramps are fucking like stay-at-home moms, fucking like, you know, punk rock. Like, fuck you. Like, no, you know, any motherfucker. Oh, the Cramps, fucking shut the fuck up. You want actual fucking punk rock? Then here's about fucking 10 fucking bands you can go listen to. Fuck the Cramps. That guy in that fucking movie, I don't believe he listened to the Cramps. I believe that he was a Slayer fan, a Metallica fan. Like, I was led to believe this the whole fucking time. Him wearing a fucking Cramps shirt, I don't believe it whatsoever. That's the kind of guy that makes fun of the people that listen to the Cramps. That's what that character reminds me of. So therefore, I don't see him being a Cramps fan. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. They want to put different people in certain situations and movies and have them in a certain mind. Because of how the shirt looks and whatever the fuck. And I guarantee fucking none of the fucking actors in that goddamn movie knew who the fucking Cramps were. I guarantee the wardrobe was like, ooh, this looks fucking like Sinister. Fuck that. You don't fucking know the goddamn music. Don't fucking put the fucking shirts on somebody. Fuck you. It doesn't make goddamn sense. It doesn't at all. I'm sorry. If you go back and look at it, it doesn't make sense why he would like the Cramps.
You know what, Chuck?
You know, whatever.
I say a sphincter says what?
What?
A sphincter says what?
What?
Excellent.
I just like whenever they do it to Christopher Walken in part 2. He's like, you want me to say what?
Like, I don't get it.
I didn't get it. You big, you big, we small, we small.
You know, when it comes down to like the sequel, and I just watched clips and shit, but I never liked Christopher Walken being in it. I thought he was so out of place. I don't think that he. We need another douchebag fucking producer, so we can like repeat the original. Okay,
he was even worse.
Like, no, he was even worse, but it's Christopher Walken. Of course he's going to be worse. But, like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why was he there?
He was straight like, the band's crap. He's like, we'll get rid of the boyfriend, get rid of the band, we'll be out in L.A.
Like, it was a regurgitation of the original. except
That's
it was
what
Christopher Walken instead of
most sequels are.
Rob Lowe. Hey, I just want you to know, you got a great voice. I want to fuck you. I mean, not, but I'm going to in the ass. Here's this watch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love Christopher Walken, but like, I think he was out of place for the sequel. I don't think it made sense at all. Because
I just like that scene in the second one when they're fucking in the studio and they're talking about Wayne Stock, and he's like, Pearl Jam and Aerosmith. And he's like, who else? And he's like, Van Halen. And fucking Garth's like, Van Halen, woo, who else?
He gets so excited, like, oh shit.
and
that's where
kayak.
And that's
I mean
that's where that.
Oh, go on.
I was going to say that's where that 1,000 brown M&Ms story comes from. Is the old Van Halen story about wanting
well, because you know what
all the brown M&Ms taken out. Yeah,
you know why they did that though, right?
Yeah.
They were trying to see if actually like people were actually paying attention to their shit,
right?
So because they had it on there as like, you know, no brown M&Ms.
Yeah, for a legit reason. People like didn't understand it, but there was a legit reason.
Yeah, because when you first hear like, oh, Van Halen doesn't, and it's like, oh, a bunch of divas and shit. It's like, no, they had a whole fucking reason why they were doing that. They were testing shit.
Yeah,
and
so
you know,
for the uninitiated, there was a story about Van Halen back in the day. They would get a rider that they'd give to the venue. It was called a rider, and that's basically a list of all the stuff that they need in their backstage area. If they needed so many waters, such food, you know, any kind of supplies or anything they needed backstage, they'd put on this rider sheet and give it to the venue, and the venue would have to supply it. Yeah. So what they would do is they'd say, we want a whole big thing of M&Ms, and we want all the brown M&Ms taken out. And people would just think, oh, they're being assholes, they're being dicks about it. But the whole reason was there were certain venues that would like skim over shit and leave shit out, and they knew if they worked with a venue that overlooked these things or didn't, you know, separate the M&Ms, that they wouldn't be able to work with them because, you know, with all the production that goes into their sets and everything like that, if they're working with a venue that's going to overlook some minute detail like that,
exactly,
then they wouldn't want to work with them, and, you know, hopefully, you know, have something happen to one of their sets, or, you know,
and we were all shown that they're all douchebags because of it. And I'm like, as you get older, you learn, and you're like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. They're testing, you know. Say what you want about Van Halen. They're one of the greatest bands of all time.
Van Hagar?
No.
I said Van Halen, goddamn you. We don't talk about Van Hagar.
You know, to bring this full circle, Van Hagar song was used for the Crystal Pepsi commercial.
Oh, God, it was. Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, my God.
God damn it. Oh, fuck. Terrible.
Any final thoughts for Wayne's World?
Excellent.
Most excellent. I feel like we about covered everything.
I think there's probably a bunch of shit.
I know there's stuff we're forgetting. I'll forget it as soon as I...
Because we went on so many rants tonight and so many sidebars.
Sidebar central.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a fun, awkward, rant-filled episode.
I dig it.
Oh, yeah.
Can you dig it?
But before we go, it is now time for our random clip of the week, in which we program our random clip generator to show us a random clip from a random movie.
Please no Kung Fu. Please no Kung Fu.
Let's see what happens this week.
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu Panda?
You think you're so fucking cool, don't you? You think you're so fucking cool. Well, just once, I would like to hear you scream in pain. Play some rap music.
Oh, Bruce Willis, you bad motherfucker. God damn it. God, that's, yeah, man.
We got to do that movie. I love that movie.
That's a Boy Scout.
Yeah, dude. Play rap music. Fucking shit.
Slip, trip, and your dick fell on my wife.
Nah, that's a good one. Which movie is it? Is it that movie where his ex-wife is in the bedroom, and he's like, "Who's in the closet?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And he's like, "No, who's in the closet?" He's like, "I'll tell you what. Count of 3, and I'm just gonna pull the trigger." Like, dude, that's so great. It works every time. Anyway, continuing.
We'll have to do that one sometime.
We should.
But before we close up the store for tonight, what's on tap for next week?
St. Patty's Day.
Wow, already?
St. motherfucking Patty's Day.
Oh shit!
So finally, we'll be going back to Boston to do the Boondock Saints, which was supposed to be done months ago, but some shit happened. We were partying, whatever.
Got a little
Shipping out to Boston.
And we had to reschedule.
We were partying. We got carried away.
It happens.
We're having a good time.
I'm going to load up on
Next
the
week,
for that now.
Boondock Saints.
Next Tuesday, live at 10.
Most excellent.
We thank you so much for joining us, even if you didn't want to be here. If we got recommended in your live feeds, and
yeah,
you were all here against Will.
We're sorry for all the people that YouTube held hostage.
We thank you again, and as usual, we thank our new subscribers. So please don't forget to
welcome
like and
aboard.
subscribe to the video. Oh, Chuck has a new book out.
Chuck.
What do you mean? Yeah, just real quick.
That one and this one.
Huh?
Lord of the Flies.
We have Going to Hell right here.
So, okay, gotcha. Well, we'll go to that in a second. This is actually the new anthology, the body horror anthology.
Can't see it.
That has my story in it. Shit. Hold on. Let me go back and look real quick.
Oh.
And he also has this that just came out. Going to Hell, Fresh Kills.
Going to Hell, Fresh Kills. Great reviews. I couldn't be more happy about it. People are really enjoying it a lot. It's a fun 3 stories that connect. And the next one I'm going to tell you is going to be more extreme than this one. And but it's a good creature feature, and I think that everyone should check it out. I think that I have been getting emails, text messages, all kinds of things about how good Going to Hell is and the stories are in that. So it means a lot. So you should definitely go pick it up, and feel free to pick up any of my other stories, books. Thirsty, House of Flesh, Sludge with Jason Nickey and Stuart Bray, as well as body horror anthology with my story, A Sadomasochistic Romance. This is a good one. This is a story I'm very proud of. That's in this, and it's one that I'm probably going to make a full book on, with the idea and whatever on. So you should definitely go and pick up body horror, because every story in here from all these authors is fucking amazing.
But Chuck, where can I get it?
Well, on Amazon. You go to Amazon. You can go to unveilingnightmares.com. That's who put this out. And then let's see. Man, there's so many anthologies coming out that I'm in. You got Gasp coming out before too long, which is quiet horror, which is just I have a story in it called In the Basement, which is pretty cool. It's creepy as fuck, and it was a lot of fun to write. And Splatology comes out June, maybe a little earlier than that. There's a lot of stuff coming out that I've got stuff in that I'm pretty proud of. Some of the stories I wasn't sure of, and then I'm getting messages from people telling me how amazing they are, and it's a good motivator. And also I have to throw out there that this cover by Christy Aldridge is fucking amazing. It's such a good book. So anybody that likes the extreme, likes the fucked up, likes Cronenberg movies, body horror anthology, check it out.
Oh, yeah.
I will real quick. I have to. Stories by Dan Schrader, Cassandra Dukas, Kisto Healy, Carriata Dorsch, Conrad Gardner. No one has a fucking easy name on this, apparently. Ruth Anna Evans, Brad Ricks, Eric Ontario, Chuck Nasty, C.A. Benham. These stories are sure to make you laugh, gag a little bit, maybe cry a little bit. But you'll be happy with it. You got this. So
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll hurl.
You'll laugh. Exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah, beautiful. And all the links to all Nasty's original works are in the description, as well as a link to his band, Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat. Make sure you check that out. And while you're there, stop by Leisure Trading Company. The link for that is in the description as well. And hey, while you're here too, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. We will be back with you next Tuesday, live at 10 p.m. with the Boondock Saints. Until then, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Party on, Dave.
Party on. Zang.
Party on.